Attorneys representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz have threatened to sue Councillor Julian Chang unless she retracts what they say are false and defamatory comments she made against him on Monday. The councillor has accused the sitting Member of Parliament of sexual harassment. He denies the allegation. The demand letter was issued on Tuesday by the law firm Knight Jr. and Samuels. It says the comments made during her interview on Monday are wholly untrue and have caused serious damage to MP Vaz's reputation. The attorneys say her reliance on allegations of sexual harassment as a tool to advance her narrative that their client is destroying her political career was most unfortunate. The letter further addressed claims by Mrs. Chang that MP Vaz removed her as chairman of the Savannah-Lamar division. It says an election was held in the division at which Mrs. Chang was in attendance, but it says she was neither nominated nor elected to any position. The attorneys are demanding that the councillor issues a public apology and retract her comments by Friday, January 30. They are demanding the retraction be published on nationwide news, failing which, they say, Vaz will sue Chang.
And the People's National Party PNP Women's Movement says it was unaware of sexual harassment allegations against MP for Central Westmoreland Dwayne Vaz by Councillor Julian Chang. Chang, who represents the Savannah-Lamar division in the parish, told Nationwide News on Monday that she has been barred from constituency meetings after rebuffing what she says are sexual advances from the MP. The councillor says she reported the matter to the party, but no action was taken.
Have you reported this to the Secretariat, to the leadership of the PNP?
Every single thing that I have spoken to you about now, yes.
Have you sent those things in writing?
I have sent the messages to them, yes.
And what was the response you received?
I was told that an internal affairs commission would have been having a meeting with us, and to date I have not had a meet. Oh, this has been going on for almost a year now.
And no communication from the party leader or the party general secretary or any senior officer for the party?
I did try to reach out to the general secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, and I have not received a response.
Julian Chang, councillor for the Savannah-Lamar division. But in a release on Tuesday, the women's movement says the allegations first came to their attention when it was shared with our news centre. The women's movement says it has since reached out to the party leadership and Councillor Chang on the matter. The movement says it's confident the PNP will empanel its independent complaints committee to ensure that the matter is properly investigated and the appropriate action taken.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
But before we get into that proper, we do have with us some news coming in. Attorneys representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz have threatened to sue Councillor Julian Chang unless she retracts what they say are false and defamatory comments she made against him on Monday. The councillor has accused the sitting Member of Parliament of sexual harassment. He denies the allegations. The demand letter was issued on Tuesday by the law firm Knight Jr. and Samuels. Well, to discuss this further, we are now joined by one of the MP Vaz's attorneys, that's Bert Samuels. Good evening, Sir Samuels.
Good evening. Good to be with you.
Good evening. It's good to hear from you as well. So, Mr. Samuels, what has been the instructions given to your firm by your client, that's Dwayne Vaz, in relation to Julian Chang's allegations?
Well, I think I did send a copy to Nationwide because you published what we call the defamatory comments. And in that letter, we wrote to her telling her that she made a lot of falsehoods against the Member of Parliament. We're asking her to withdraw them. Numerally, I would say the first was that she said that there was sexual harassment of her. She complained and spoke about it for the first time in our instruction 10 months later and gave some excuse why she did not speak about it before. But we know it is his victory in the elections that has caused her to be in the political wilderness because she was giving her support to his opponent, and his having won, she was removed from the divisional as chairman of the division by an election by the members. And she's blaming that on your program that he removed her. It was an election which she attended, that she was not even nominated because based on her conduct, there's a loss of confidence in her as a supporter of the People's National Party.
And let's start with the most serious of those allegations, the ones regarding sexual harassment. She did provide, as you said, they were old, but WhatsApp messages of a questionable nature in terms of the interactions between her and the member of parliament. Has the MP given an account of those WhatsApp messages?
Well, I must tell you that when she said that he had a dream, she encouraged him to tell her what the dream was. And in the WhatsApp exchange, when she told her, she did not say it is inappropriate. She did not say, please don't say these things. And it was a dream that he said that he had. Now, if she had reprimanded him or made any comment to show that she was displeased, it's different. You see, adults must know that if a person makes a sexual advancement on you and you entertain it, that's not harassment. And we don't think that the dream amounted to that. But all she said is, were you drunk? She didn't go any further. Neither did he take it any further. He had no interest in as it were, living the dream or continuing with it. So that when I heard the interview last night, I was listening for more. There was nothing else coming. She has now sought to make it in sexual harassment retroactively to make out a case that he's been vindictive because he did not get his way with her. No, he didn't get his way with her. It's just a figment of her imagination. Further, she said that she didn't know that he was a married man. No, this is her political colleague. He got married in 2024. He wears a wedding band. And she comes to tell you she didn't know that he was married. That's how you know when people are promoting a falsehood, when they go on other issues and find it necessary to lie.
And further to that, though, Mr. Samuels, you're suggesting, based on what you're saying here, that that was the only interaction that would be considered of a sexual nature between them, because Ms. Chang would suggest that this was not just, this was a pattern of behavior, not just a single instance.
Yeah, because when you probed her yesterday, the only example she gave was a screenshot of a dream. She was not able to tell you the contents of any other conduct that amounted to sexual harassment. The law says it's easy for someone to allege that you are sexually molesting them. Anyone can go and say that. So what the law looks for is material that amounts to that. And whether you condoned it, that's different, because adults can consent. And listen, your silence sometimes means that you're consenting. Or if you said, were you drunk? It means you must at least put your foot. She's a married woman. If she was offended by this joke, then she should have said, who are you talking to? I have my husband. Don't do this. Nothing like that came from her. It came from her because he has won the election.
But certainly, Mr. Simons, as I said, you are defending your client as is expected, and your client has given you instructions.
I'm defending truth. I'm defending
very well. But what about the power dynamic at play? He is the MP, she's a councillor, and the concerns and political risks at play in this scenario. Don't you think that provides a certain explanation as to why she may have waited before putting forward these allegations?
Oh, that's a beautiful speculation. I mean, the power, I guess any member of staff at my workplace who is lower than me can always run for the power dynamics and all that kind of thing. What we want is tangible evidence, and that's absent.
Understood. Then what about the allegation put forward by your client, which I think you substantiated today, to suggest that she was working against his campaign during the general election? Does he have proof to substantiate that?
Well, I tell you this. She was not even nominated to come back to be president of the division. And that speaks volumes, that she has lost her credibility with the party. No, she didn't even take the matter to the women's movement. She didn't seek to have this sexual harassment determined within the party. It is what you call her finding herself in the political wilderness. She should have brought it to the women in the party to resolve it. And she told you last night that she told everyone. And when she was pressed further, she said, oh, I didn't tell the women's group. So the women's group doesn't come into everyone?
But she did suggest that she informed the central executive, including the general secretary. I don't understand fully the internal workings of the People's National Party as to the proper authority, but one would think that the General Secretary having knowledge of such a event would be substantial enough.
Yeah, but one would think that empathy would come from the women's movement, and that's where she should go firstly, because she's going to men. And I think that it's best if she went to the women in the party to make this. I would be more comfortable were a female to go to the women's movement and make this, because they would have the empathy that is needed. So she goes to power. What she should go to is a gender that would be empathetic with her.
Okay, but I think she said that it didn't come to her mind to go to that angle. Do you think that's an unreasonable thing under the circumstances? She went to what she believes to be the constituted authority, the General Secretary.
Well, I think a girl of tender years could be excused by that. But I think a grown married woman knows that she can go to her party's women's movement and get this matter addressed.
Understood, Mr. Samuels. I'm sure we could. I ask you then, just as a final follow-up, what is the intention of your client if she does not follow through with your request for an apology?
We have given her until Friday to withdraw her statement that she was removed as chairman by him of the division because there was an election, so she lied on that. We give her until Friday to admit that she was not being sexually harassed, and we give her until Friday to retract all of those lies against the member of parliament. It is his victory in the polls that has caused her to be cast in the political wilderness. She's the creator of her own demise politically.
Understood. That is Bert Samuels. He is an attorney representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz. Thank you for your time, Mr. Samuels. All the best.
Okay, all the best.
Have a good evening. We take a short break.